apparently did work hard to try to get this will declared null and void, and the Canadian premier at the time, was really motivated to try to stop the whole thing. He thought the whole thing was just a complete disaster. Various relatives, as is always the case, tried to show up to claim they were the sole heir, obviously. And the other, I'm sure these 36 some odd children that were the benefactors here, I presume had positive thoughts related to this man. There were something on the order of 24 other women that had 8 children, and they all got nothing. And and God knows, how many others had, whatever, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hundreds of kids probably. So interesting. I don't know, very, very self-indulgent, misogynistic contest really at the end, probably. And there's one sort of other epilogue here that Miller also was known to have a bit of a vindictive side. On one occasion, apparently, when he had driven down from Toronto to Detroit, at the time, the only way to get across the river there was by ferry. It didn't say how many times a day the ferry ran, but he drove down there and missed the ferry, and was so pissed off that he bought the property on the opposite side in Windsor that would later be the site for the tunnel under the river. So basically, he was instrumental in making sure the ferry business went out of business. and then the money from that also helped fund the Stork Derby. And it's really, it's completely unclear how many women started the contest and dropped out at any point in time. So seriously, potentially hundreds of children potentially may have been born as a direct result. Many of these families already had children to begin with. So lots of families with lots of children.
Well, and then those kids have kids.
Oh, right. Yes, absolutely.
Then those kids have kids. And unless his purpose was just to sow seeds of chaos for generations, is it the law of unintended consequences, or does he just not care, or is it all fun and games until someone has 11 kids in 10 years? And what a nut.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I guess, okay. Seriously, right now, if someone said to me, okay, Bryan, here's $2 million. Great. Here's 8 children. Fuck you. No fucking, no, nope. No, thanks. You take the children and the money. No. That's just not going to happen. So
what, so the media coverage must have loved it. This would have been 1926. So we're talking about.
Yeah, so started in 26, ended in 30, ended during the Depression. So as the Depression fired up, newspapers looking for anything to talk about besides just death, despair, awful, right? And so this was kind of an interesting, story that was ever evolving. So it changed every few weeks, few months. There'd be, these writers could go back to this story over and over again. And
I imagine there was even differences because back then we had a lot of evening and morning newspapers. So there might be updates between evening and morning editions.
But yeah, potentially toward the end, especially, sure.
And I've been writing headlines in my head, baby bump slump, and just stuff like that must have been headline material for years. Extra. Yeah. Kids on the, the little kids with the hats and the breeches.
Right.
That's crazy. I guess I was with him until this. The idea of selling a condo to 3 people who hate each other, or a vacation home to 3 people who despise each other, on the condition that you all go to vacation together every year. That's a movie. That's a TV series.
Right.
But this is messing with the population density of a city. That's something else.
Those Canadians, man, you just can't trust them.
It's one of those jokes that just, I didn't mean for that to happen. Well, maybe you should have thought of that before you did it.
Right. Yep.
Maybe he's the reason that Ontario had two area codes by 1947.
All his damn fault.
Look at that. Tied that together.
Like a bow.
All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap things up. Good story, Bryan.
Yep,
what a character.
That's another Dream Idiots for another week. Please rate, subscribe, share our stuff. Tell us what you think. Go to dreamidiots.com.
Tell a friend. Tell an enemy. If you don't like the show, tell an enemy. Make their life miserable.
There you go.
But thanks for listening. Thanks for the feedback. We appreciate it. And everybody have a great week.
Bye.